Hello, we are management team for Hotel MIZU. Alex and I are in charge with room rate. Anais and Josh are channel manager. David is responsible for advertising and marketing. Orlando is the investment manager. Hotel MIZU is a 4-star full-service hotel, and based on historical information, the economy is slowly recovering and is located in city center, which attracts 6 different customer segments. For our business strategy, we decided to attract this kind of people, and we want to be perceived as a luxury hotel with good value and good quality. And to be consistent with this image, we decided to go for the rate maximization to skim the market.
So here are the market conditions we were referring to when we were making decisions throughout the year. So these are the criteria we referred to because they were important to our investors. The historical data showed that the weekends occupancy was lower than the weekdays, and eventually we decreased the prices between two rates. And when we did that in May, we saw that the occupancy for weekdays prevailed as we expected. However, for the rest of the year, the tendency flipped, and we think it's because we raised our prices.
So in hindsight, this was a mistake because we made so much money from our regular guests that we surely could have afforded a low rate from the biddings. However, we also assumed that thanks to the displaced guests, we could charge a higher rate. In the beginning of the year, we invested a lot in what we thought that our target market would put high importance on it. By the end of the year, we just did what we could in order to save our pretty low guest satisfaction. Since we focused on business clients, we wanted to satisfy their needs by providing a business center and valid parking. In Q1, we had a miserable ROE due to the high initial investments because of the range of facilities and services we wanted to create in order to differentiate ourselves from the competitors. In Q2, we had a GOP that was over 15% of the owner's goal, and the ROE was almost good considering we had to fulfill a 2% mark per quarter. In Q3, we had a very high ADR, but we sacrificed way too much occupancy for that, which resulted in an overall lower performance. In Q4, we invested in facilities again, and as a result, our ROE suffered hugely from it. By the end of the year, we failed to reach our goals, except for the GOP.
We focused on direct channel rates. GDS and OTA prices depended on distribution channel mix and historical data. As Shirley said, we focused on bar standard, premium and groups, and throughout the year we adjusted our prices if we saw we had some mistakes, and depending on their size we might mention them later. We started off as the most expensive property, but within just 2 months the competition adjusted their price to ours. We were second or first in the quality perception, and as we invested heavily we decided to raise our prices in the second quarter. At the start we were trying to adjust and see where we stand, so we compared ourselves to competition and we checked out the monthly results.
Okay, so we have decided to create a profitability table of the channel. We basically did the formula, the net RevPAR, and we have created this table with percentages from historical data for each channel, and we update it every month with the new data in order to create a benchmark. Therefore, based on our calculation, we can determine that the most profitable channel for each segment. So for the bar is through direct and GDS, but they mainly booked through direct and OTA based on the channel demand. And for premium is the more profitable direct and GDS, and it's also their favorite channel. And for group, the most profitable is direct, and they only book through direct. Okay, so on this chart you can see the percentages we have decided to put for the first quarter. And for the difference between weekday and weekends percentages, we have set the percentages based on our channel profitability table, which we then updated after each month in order to determine if a change will impact our results. Okay, so as you can see on the rate reduction occupancy percentage table, then we did not change the percentage of the rate reduction until the end of the first quarter, because we felt that we did not have enough data to forecast the occupancy, and therefore we needed a more precise view of the occupancy pattern before making a decision. Then this is closely linked with our strategy, and hence we cannot offer large discounts, which will damage the value perception of the guests. As you can see on this room report table, for the premium segment, they mainly book through direct and GDS, and this is what we were aiming at, so strategy is working. However, we are not targeting many premium guests compared to the bar segment, and this might be a problem because they are highly profitable and bar segment are not, if we compare with the net rate. And the number of rooms sold through premium is higher during the week than on the weekends, and this is mainly due to the segment behavior. Then regarding bar, the main share of the segment booked through direct and GDS, and was quite a surprise actually, because we thought they would book through direct and OTAs. Hence, we need to change the percentages allocated to the channel in order to match the market preferences. And for the group, we can use this segment to fill the hotel during the weekends.
So here you can see our problems, actions, and possible impacts for advertising and marketing in the first quarter. The outcomes were caused not only by marketing and advertising actions, but also by the common actions of the whole management team.
At the beginning of May, we were losing in value while having the highest price on the market. Occupancy index and RE were low, so we decided to decrease our prices in an attempt to raise both. May was our best month of the year, and we think it was due to the accumulated impact of denying RFPs and lowering our prices. We know we went against our core strategy, but we did not fall into the mid-range pricing and still remained the highest. And as the high season was approaching, we decided to slightly raise our prices again. And our net profit decreased, but occupancy went up, and such a contradictory effect is perhaps due to the fact that the demand during weekends was higher.
For the premium segment, the number of rooms sold to premium has increased compared to the last quarter, but because we have reduced the ADR, we are now targeting more premium at the lower rate, and this is not a smart move as we are now losing profits and the opportunity revenue of having the same guests pay at a higher rate. Considering the bar, a percentage lead to positive outcomes by capturing a higher percentage of the market segment than compared to the last quarter. But even though we increased the percentage of the direct channel, it did not capture as many guests as the GDS one, and therefore our strategy is not working. Hence, there seems to be a change in the demand for the channel, as many guests are booking through the GDS instead of the bar channel. So for the next quarter, we might need to follow the market trend, demand for GDS in order to capture more bar. And for the group segment dropped, thereby decreasing our revenue and profits. And the demand is higher on weekends, and we want them back in order to improve our profitability.
So for the second quarter, the problem is that firstly, continuous negative feedback about advertising, and secondly, the higher weekends occupancy and MPI, although the actual demand for weekdays is higher. And thirdly, the group occupancy drops a lot. So we take the actions of increasing investment in each channel, including wholesale, to reach more customers and avoid negative feedback. So we also increase the investment, especially in group weekdays, and we use PR agency to increase marketing impact. As a result, however, the negative feedback still comes out, but it might be coming from the segment we are not interested in, and we therefore ignore it. And also the group occupancy increases a lot in this quarter. According to MPI, weekday occupancy also increases a bit.
After listening to the advice of a professional consultant, we raised our prices almost to the maximum, and we did it because of these reasons. It was a risky move for us, and in fact we lost some profit and occupancy. However, we decided to keep the prices for August because we were sure that the benefits of high season will prevail. We discouraged group demand consciously, thinking about the positioning we still wanted to have, and we kept high prices for throughout the whole third quarter, the ending of which actually proved that we might have been wrong all along, because all of our KPIs went down and the net profit decreased by more than 66% in September. At this point, we became desperate and decided we want groups back.
As you see on the chart, for quarter 3, premium rates, we mostly focused on sales through direct and GDS as they were the most profitable according to our YTD market share. We allocated less to no percentage towards OTAs because we expected lesser demand after high season. For bar rates, we focused mainly on direct sales as it possessed the highest percentage of sales with the lowest commission fee. We also reduced GDS and OTA in an effort to increase occupancy and decrease costs.
So for the third quarter, the problem is that the market indexes for advertising are below the average and the group and transit occupancy is still low. So we take the action of increasing in the investment in advertising from June to September, especially in group and transit segment. As a result, the advertising market indexes are still below the average, although compared to last quarter, we invested much more for the high season and because competitors increased their investment much faster than us, the impact for group and transit occupancy is not that significant.
Quarter 4 represents our despair. We were lost and unsure of how to preserve our strategy, and for the last 3 months of the year we were trying to improve the situation. In November we had another downfall, and we think it's because we stopped advertising 2 months prior to the discounted segment, which is why our occupancy decreased. We lowered our prices again after that in the last attempt of earning some revenue, and overall we have to admit that we might have failed to manage our strategy right from the start.
Here you can see, for premium rates for quarter 4, we decided to focus mainly on direct and GDS. Direct because we want to cut costs, and GDS because it represents the highest percentage of sales. For bar rates, we mainly focused on direct booking as it brought in the most customers and had the lowest commission fee. As you can see here, we've placed trigger points for quarter 3 and 4. We decided to increase rates for premium and bar guests at 75% occupancy or above. It is due to the fact that we expected occupancy to bounce back up to at least 65% from our average occupancy of 55%. Unfortunately, this did not happen.
So for the fourth quarter, the problem is that the investment for advertising is too much, above 7% of total revenue. So we take the action of neglect some of the negative customer feedback and decrease the investment in discounted category to 0 to save money and allocate the money more efficiently. So we lower the investment of OTAs since the direct channel is strong enough and OTA performs not well according to the report. As a result, we decreased in investment by more than $6,000. The percentage of total revenue is still very high since our revenue dropped.
First, we were too aggressive on price, so that's why we suggest to have a smoother pricing strategy without any dramatic changes. Second, the channel manager needs to encourage more on direct booking to increase net RevPAR. Third, make sure there are not a lot of other room at the same time, and make sure everything is ready before the high season. Fourth, the advertising and marketing need to be more focused, so without dramatic cuts on segments, it hurts our net profit. First, we need to work on the rate effectiveness and better management of costs in general to reach the objective of ROE and profit. Second, we want to get back where we were at the beginning on the price value map, and we need to improve the quality bit by bit rather than invest them all at once. Third, we need to increase the market awareness on segments we want in competitive sets, rather than putting similar amounts every segment.